What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about one seriously badass flashlight. This is the Nitecore TM28, the newest model that is pumping out 6,000 lumens. There was a model before this that did 4,000, which is amazing, but this is the newest one that pumps out 6,000 lumens. And as you guys know, if you watch my channel for any length of time, I'm infatuated with powerful high-tech flashlights. And if you're into flashlight technology, now is one of the coolest times to be into flashlights because the technology has just skyrocketed over the last 4 years. I bought my first high-end flashlight about 4 or 5 years ago. It was a Zebra light. I paid $100 for it, and at the time, it was 900 lumens, and it was amazing. Super tiny but super powerful. Had all kinds of cool features, and that's what really got me into high-end flashlights. But now, fast forward, 4 or 5 years from then, we have lights like this that are just leaps and bounds better than that flashlight as far as power goes. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at this Nitecore TM28 search and rescue flashlight. All right, so if you're in the market for a search and rescue flashlight or a flashlight to just dominate the night, maybe you're a security guard, a law enforcement officer, search and rescue team, firefighter, whatever, and you want something that is just absolutely gonna dominate the night and light up an entire area like a searchlight basically on a vehicle, but you want it in the palm of your hand, this might be the flashlight you're looking for right here because it is a beast that pumps out 6,000 lumens. So let's go ahead and open it up and take a look. So inside the box is pretty straightforward. You got your flashlight, you got your carrying case, you got some paperwork from Nitecore, you've got an O-ring, and you have a adapter so you could use Flattop 18650 batteries. We'll talk about that later in the video. And then you also have a lanyard. By the way, it says right here, warning. It is of crucial importance to ensure the IMR batteries are installed correctly. Basically, what that's saying is you got to put the batteries in here properly or they could explode because they're very powerful batteries. You could use regular 18650 batteries. You could use a power pack, which I'll talk about later. And then you can use the IMR batteries, which really allow this thing to hit that 6,000 lumen mark. Here's the nylon holster it comes with, which is nice. I've reviewed some flashlights that actually don't come with holsters because they're just so big. It has this section here that you can open up and slide over your belt if you want to, or you could use the steel D-ring and clip this onto pretty much anything you need. Pretty straightforward, just enough to get the job done. Here it is. This is the Nitecore TM28 or Tiny Monster 28. It even says Tiny Monster right there. And this thing truly is a beast. As you can see, it's very compact actually for a large flashlight. It does fit in the palm of my hand, but it does put out 6,000 lumens. There are flashlights out there that put more lumens than 6,000 lumens, but they're also bigger than this flashlight. This is probably the smallest 6,000 lumen flashlight I've ever seen that I know of. If you know of any 6,000 lumen flashlights that are smaller than this, let me know in the comments below. All right, let me give you an overview of the entire flashlight. The body is made out of an aluminum. They call it an aerospace grade alloy. I don't know exactly what type of aluminum alloy it is, but it's obviously high quality just by looking at it and the way it feels. It is hard anodized. This particular flashlight has a setup with 4 individual LEDs with their own individual reflectors and individual lenses. Those are mineral optic lenses with anti-reflective coatings. The LEDs inside here are Cree XHP35 HI LEDs. So they're very high performance, very powerful LEDs in there. You do not want to be looking at this flashlight when you turn this thing on because it could hurt your eyes. And I've done it. It hurts. It's painful. You don't want to do that. Make sure it's always pointed in a safe direction. Almost like you're dealing with a firearm, you want to always point this in a safe direction before you turn it on. So it has a different design as far as flashlights go, and some of you might love that, and some of you just may not prefer that. I personally like this design. I've used this at the Overland Expo and just in the desert here in Las Vegas, and it is just a phenomenal performer. It actually, I would say, is a better thrower than it is a floodlight, which is odd because the heads are fairly small. You would think that it's more of a floodlight, but it's actually a really good thrower as well. It does both jobs really well. It's got an OLED LED display or organic LED display that shows you all the different modes and information inside here. And if you look close, it's just got this nice build quality. It's got this brushed aluminum with screws in here. These are like Allen head screws. Just really nicely made, very high quality. It's got a metal power button and then also a metal mode button here that scrolls through all the different information. The body itself is just really nicely machined. It has this angular kind of design, almost like a lightsaber really, when you take a close look at this thing, which is awesome. It's got these heat sinks built into the body because these LEDs do generate a lot of heat. That is a downside with these modern powerful LED flashlights. They produce a lot of heat, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute as well. On the bottom here, you can see it has a tripod mount. That is a standard universal steel tripod mount. So anything with a tripod stud will fit on there, which is nice. Here is your connector for charging the batteries. That's the nice thing about this. You don't have to take the batteries out and put them in a charger. You can actually plug this right into the wall with a wall adapter and charge the batteries right inside the flashlight, which is really nice. So you can keep this in your vehicle or keep it on the desk in the office and have this thing charging ready to go at a moment's notice. It's got a rubber port cover there to keep the elements out, and this is IPX8 submersible down to 2 meters, which is nice. This is not a dive light though, but it will survive, being rained on or a quick dunk in a creek if you happen to fall down. It's not going to get short-circuited by the water. Of course, you have to make sure that that cover is in there pretty tight so you don't get any water in there. It also has an O-ring in here to keep water out as well. Moving down the body, it has these cutouts, mostly for gripping the flashlight, which is nice. And then there's some knurling on here as well for gripping the flashlight. On the bottom, there's nothing here because the power and mode buttons are on the side. And that's nice because then you can tail stand it if you're going to use this as a camp light. If you want to put it on a low setting and just use it as a camp light, or light up a tent if you have a command center and you want to light up a tent, or maybe you can put this inside your vehicle or on a hood or something. This thing can tail stand nicely for that, which is nice. And then right here you can see there's a cutout for a lanyard, so you can put this around your wrist. Let's take a look on the inside. To open it up, you just unscrew it and the body comes in half like that. So you'll access the batteries just like that. There's no carrier for the batteries. It's just a slide-in kind of setup. Some flashlights will have a carrier for your batteries. This doesn't have that. And these are the 18650 IMR batteries. If you look right there, it says IMR. Not exactly sure what IMR stands for. I'm not super technical. But they are 3100 milliamp 18650 rechargeable lithium-ion batteries, which are some of the best batteries on the market. All the professionals use these rechargeable, high discharge, high power batteries, and they're fantastic. I love these things. All my flashlights, for the most part now, all use 18650 rechargeables. And these are specific for this flashlight. You do have to use the IMR 18650 batteries to get the 6000 lumens, but you can also use regular 18650 batteries in here in a pinch if you just need to use the light. And I believe it'll only pump out 4000 lumens with the regular 18650s. But if you want the 6000, make sure you get the IMR batteries. So you do have to insert these batteries properly, or there's a possibility that the batteries could explode. But that's just the downside to using very powerful batteries. That's not just this flashlight, that's any powerful flashlight. And if you have any questions on how to put them in, there are pictures in here. If you look closely, there's a plus sign, a plus sign, a plus sign. There's a plus sign that shows the plus sign on your batteries, or the positive end. So you can't really get this wrong. Positive goes up, positive goes up, positive up, positive up. Can't go wrong. Now if you look close on the threads here, you'll see an O-ring. That's what helps keep the water out, and there is a spare O-ring in case this one wears out or gets damaged. All right, so once you put the batteries in, you're gonna see this LED display light up and ask you some questions. It's gonna want to have you input which types of batteries that you put in here. Did you put the IMRs? Do you have a battery pack, or do you have regular 18650 batteries? So watch this. Once you put the power pack on, or the batteries on, so once you put the batteries in, it'll ask you what kind of batteries you installed. IMR, battery pack, or just regular lithium ion 18650s. Since this is the IMR, you're going to leave it on IMR, and then you can either just leave it and it'll read IMR, or you can hit select with the power button and it'll lock it in. Now, if you put the wrong setting on there, you're not going to get the maximum 6,000 lumens. So you got to make sure you put the right setting on there of which batteries you installed. All right, so let's talk about this Flattop adapter. Some of you guys out there might have the Flattop IMR batteries that are unprotected, high discharge batteries, and they give you an adapter to use those batteries. So all you got to do is just put the batteries in like you normally would, positive facing up, but they're flat top, so you need this adapter here to help those flat tops make connections with the head. So you'll have this big nub facing down. Now, with everything in life, there's a pro and a con. This thing does put out 6,000 lumens, which is a huge pro. But a con to this flashlight, I'd have to say, is the heat. This thing puts out a tremendous amount of heat to the point where I would say you can't even hold this after 10 minutes because it's just that hot. It's like it came off of a stove. It's so hot. But that's why they give you this tripod mount. I highly recommend using something like this pistol grip mini tripod. And what you do is you'll just screw it on there like this. And a lot of search and rescue flashlights come with handles anyways, or they give you the ability to put a handle on them. So this basically makes it into a handheld spotlight, just like you'd normally see with most spotlights used on boats, or fishermen use these a lot, and just search and rescue guys in general. And it's nice because it keeps the heat off your hands. And then this is kind of nice too, because this one actually transforms into a mini tripod, which comes in handy as well if you want to point it up at something, at a building or whatever, or you can even turn it around the other way and point this thing down if you wanted to. All right, so let's talk about some of the modes that this flashlight can do. To turn it on, you'll just tap it like that to wake it up from standby mode. Then you'll tap it again, and now you have full 6,000 lumens. So turn it off, you just tap it. Turn it on, full 6,000 lumens, and that's burning my hand already. There's the lumen levels, 6,000 lumens. It shows you the volts, 3.63 volts. And then it also shows you the battery consumption, how much you got left. That's a really nice feature there, knowing how much battery you have left. And then also how many minutes you have left. That's actually a huge selling point right there, knowing how many minutes you have left on your flashlight, so you can go ahead and either recharge the batteries or swap in fresh batteries. And it even tells you the temperature that this flashlight is running at. It's at 34 degrees Celsius. So this flashlight has 5 different settings. Level 5 is 6,000 lumens. If you want to drop it down to level 4, you'll just do a soft touch, not even click it, just a soft touch, and it goes down to level 4. Level 5, 6,000, soft touch. Level 4, 2,300 lumens. Now, if you want to go to the lower lumens, which is level 1, 2, and 3, you're going to soft click it right from the beginning, and you go to level 1, which, as you can see there, level 1 is 2 lumens. And then soft click it again to the next one. Level 2, 320 lumens. Level 3, 1,000 lumens. Level 4, 2,300 lumens. And then it cycles through from 1 to 4 for some reason. And then if you want 6,000 lumens, you turn it off, and then turn it on again, and it goes to 6,000 lumens right off the bat. So I thought that was kind of interesting. It doesn't go from 1 to 5. It goes to 1 to 4, and then to level 5 from the off position for some reason. I guess that makes sense. If you have this in the off position and you're walking around and you need the light right away to look for something, of course when you hit the button it's going to go straight to 6,000 lumens, which is nice. All right, so something to note after using this flashlight for a few weeks now, this is not a tactical flashlight. It's not meant for firearms use. You can if you wanted to, if you had to, but it's not a tactical flashlight, so there's no tail clicky, and it doesn't have a strobe feature. That's more for tactical applications. This is a search and rescue type flashlight, so what it does have is an automatic standby mode, which means if this thing is sitting in a bag or in your trunk, or even in the holster, and you accidentally hit this button like that, you accidentally hit it, it's not going to turn on and kill your battery or stay on and burn up your bag because this thing gets super hot. That's not going to do that. So you'll tap it to get it to activate. See how I tapped it like that, and it gets it out of standby mode. Then you tap it again and you can access all the different lumens. Then you turn it off, and then after, I forgot how many seconds, it goes into standby mode, and you don't have to worry about this thing accidentally getting turned on. So pretty cool. So Nitecore claims that the light shooting out of this flashlight is going to project out to 655 meters, which equates to roughly 716 yards. And for you flashlight nerds out there that want to know the candela, Nitecore advertises this to have 107,200 candela peak beam intensity. Nitecore says that this thing can take a beating and it can survive a 1 meter drop, or basically a 1 yard drop. A meter is just over 1 yard. It's got built-in circuitry to protect it from overheating, which is nice. You don't want your expensive flashlight to overheat and break on you. It'll protect itself and shut down automatically if it overheats. So one of the biggest selling points to going with the Nitecore TM28 is that you can use the flashlight in this configuration here until the batteries die, and then hot swap it out with this separate battery pack. So you have 4 18650 batteries in here. You use this however you use it. Say it's on high, 6,000 lumens, that's only 45 minutes. You kill the batteries in this. You can instantly swap it out to this. Now this is a separate battery pack that Nitecore sells, and this thing is pretty amazing. It's called the NPB66 High Discharge Battery Pack. This is about 149 bucks depending on where you shop around online. And if you're a professional firefighter, search and rescue, first responder, law enforcement, whatever, and you need a lot of backup battery instantly, this is a good investment in my opinion. It's equivalent to 8 18650 lithium-ion batteries, and what it essentially does is double the time that this thing will run. Pretty cool, right? So you take your battery pack, screw it onto the head, and the LED is going to ask you what kind of battery pack it is. You'll just hit power to accept battery pack, and that will give you maximum 6,000 lumens. You have to make sure you pick which type of power source is attached to the head. So that's pretty cool. So this is a big flashlight in this configuration, no doubt, for sure. I mean, look at that. It is like a billy club. Remember in the old days, cops used to have the old mag lights. You could use it as a baton, basically. But compared to a mag light, this is actually smaller than a mag light, as you can see there. It's still smaller than a mag light. So very cool, and it still fits in the holster as well. As you can see, you can still put it in the holster like so, and put this on your belt, and you could have power for the rest of the night if you have a long night of working in the dark. The battery pack can be charged via the 3.5 millimeter port with the wall charger. It'll flash quickly to let you know that it's charging, and then it'll flash constantly blue when it's fully charged. And you can expect about 15 hours to fully charge this battery pack. So I highly recommend that you keep this thing pre-charged before you go on duty if you're a professional using this for search and rescue or whatever. Keep it charged before you go out there. Now it also has a 4 millimeter port here, but you have to buy an adapter to use that, and that's to use a quick charge system that Nitecore also sells. I don't have it on me, but the quick charge system will charge this battery pack in 8 hours. So like I said before, I've had this flashlight for a few weeks now, and I've got to really test this thing out in the field. And here's some footage of some of the flashlight being used out there in the dark. All right, guys, so there you have it. That is my review of the Nitecore TM28 or Tiny Monster TM28. This thing is absolutely amazing. Again, 6,000 lumens in such a compact package. There are flashlights out there that are probably more powerful than this, but again, they're bigger than this. This one is really compact. Look at that. I mean, it fits in the palm of your hand, and you have the power of 6,000 lumens. It's just absolutely phenomenal. I can't say enough about this thing. I've had it for a few weeks now, like I said, and really got to use this thing, and I love it. I absolutely love this flashlight. It is by far my favorite flashlight right now when it comes to having a beast, a powerhouse flashlight in the palm of my hands. So a lot of you guys are gonna ask, what does this thing cost? This is going to be roughly around a $250 flashlight. Yes, that's a lot of money, but if you're a professional, you know, you do search and rescue, firefighting, law enforcement, security, I don't know, whatever, you got a ranch or something, and you want a powerful flashlight, $250 for a high quality professional grade flashlight like this is probably worth its weight in gold, really, because what good is working in the dark if you can't see? This helps you dominate the night for sure. All right, guys, if you want to buy this amazing flashlight, go ahead and click on the link below this video. That's a link to Nitecore's Amazon store. I am an Amazon affiliate. All right, guys, so if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button to support my channel. Hit subscribe if you just found my channel, and leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about the Nitecore Tiny Monster TM28 search and rescue flashlight that pumps out 6,000 lumens. Thanks a lot, guys.